that this unipolar or hegemonic world order was unacceptable. And in order to balance it, we need to form this partnership with China and India. And again, this sounded a bit like science fiction in 1999, but it is interesting now that we see this come actually being born here. But also, that's why I found the energy sector to be so interesting, because we're all now talking about the new world economy being built around the AI and digital platforms. But the one thing you need for this new industrial revolution is cheap energy to fuel all these data centers. And again, this has always been the case. Energy is the source of civilizational rise. So the fact that they have all this, I guess, energy partnerships now linking these three countries together is quite fascinating. But how advanced are they, though? I know we've spoken before about thorium, but I guess people are not familiar with what the thorium revolution actually entails. Why is this so significant, though, in this partnership?
Well, maybe I may add a couple more points. That's one of the points. I'd say the lead point within that is Russia, is India's rise and wanting to be a major player and a leader in the world in new energy. It's extraordinary change and innovation. Where I think of my experience in India from an advisory point of view, as I've seen, just like Trump's experience in the U.S., I've seen resistance within components within India. Modi's a different leader. Modi has just risen above it and said, here's what we're going to do. And the extraordinary changes in the budget. And they have a program which has been all along saying, here's the creep in the 1950s. Here's where we're going to go from uranium to thorium back in the 50s. But now they have incremental steps. And they're actually taking a step in the middle, not just with Russia. The first bridge technology in thorium has actually come from the U.S., called Core Energy, from the U.S. into India, which they've opened up as the end of August this year. So India is very progressive about this. It's not just Russia. It's also wherever the technology is to bridge that transition. They've always talked about it, but now they're focused on doing it. That's a big change. So I think and they've always wanted to get to thorium. Now they have the drive to do it. The drive at the top, and they have the funds they've allocated to do it. And now they'll seek the best resources, whether it's Russia, U.S., or whatever. So that's a big change as well, I think, from an India point of view. The second thing I said about your energy is, and I finished this again on September 2nd, which is to power Siberia.